We have so much to unpack today, and I am genuinely thrilled to have you here with me as we navigate this journey together. Right now, the entire town of Port Charles seems to be breathing a collective sigh of relief. Jen Sidwell is officially behind bars, and the immediate threat he posed to Sonny Corinthos, Laura Collins, and Lucas Jones has seemingly been neutralized. Molly Lansing Davis is practically vibrating with excitement at the prospect of taking Sidwell to court and securing a massive legal victory. Everyone is looking forward to this highly anticipated trial, expecting to see a dangerous mastermind locked away for the rest of his natural life. But as I watched the dust settle around Sidwell's arrest, I found my attention drifting away from the impending courtroom drama and focusing entirely on someone else. I found myself looking closely at Jason Morgan. Jason just made his highly anticipated return in the 16,000th episode. He came back from WSB captivity, a changed man, declaring that he is leaving the mob and making his son, Danny Morgan, his absolute top priority. It should be a triumphant, peaceful new chapter for him. Yet, at first, it didn't seem important, but I noticed a lingering heaviness in his demeanor. Something about that moment stayed with me. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I keep coming back to the circumstances of Jason's supposed freedom. We all know how he and Valentine Cassadine were released from WSB custody. It wasn't because the agency suddenly developed a moral compass. It was because Jocelyn Jacks made a highly classified secret deal with WSB Director Z. She agreed to help the agency pin all of the late Ross Cullum's heinous crimes on the deceased Cassius Faison, creating a convenient scapegoat so the WSB could avoid a massive public scandal. In exchange, Jason and Valentine were granted their freedom. On the surface, it looks like a clean break. The paperwork was signed, the doors were opened, and Jason walked back into Port Charles to take Danny on a father-son vacation. But the more I think about it, the more I realize that the WSB does not operate in the realm of clean breaks. They are an intelligence agency built on leverage, manipulation, and the hoarding of valuable assets. And Jason Morgan is arguably one of the most lethal, effective assets they have ever had their hands on. This brings me to the quiet, subtle details surrounding Jen Sidwell's current predicament. Sidwell wasn't just a random criminal passing through town. He was deeply entangled with Ross Cullum and the highly dangerous cold fusion prototype. Sidwell knows the intimate details of Cullum's double agent operation. He knows where the bodies are buried, both figuratively and literally. If Sidwell is put on the stand in an open, highly publicized trial, there is a massive risk that he will start talking to save his own skin. He could expose the WSB's complicity, their failures, and their darkest operational secrets to the entire world. The WSB simply cannot afford to let that happen. The trial that Molly is so excited about is a ticking time bomb for the intelligence community. They cannot let a judge or a jury hear what Sidwell has to say. But here is the shadow beneath the story. The WSB cannot just walk into the Port Charles Police Department, flash a badge, and legally extract a high-profile prisoner like Sidwell without causing a jurisdictional war and a media frenzy. They need him to disappear quietly. They need a ghost. They need someone who can infiltrate a secure facility, extract a high-value target, and leave absolutely no trace pointing back to the agency. They need a rogue operative who is entirely expendable in the eyes of the law. They need someone with a specific set of skills who is already viewed by the public as a dangerous enforcer. They need Jason Morgan. This isn't just about a trial. It is about a hidden motivation and an unseen connection between the intelligence world and the criminal underworld of Port Charles. I keep wondering whether Jason's newfound freedom came with an invisible, unbreakable leash. Maybe there's another layer here. It's possible that Jason never truly escaped the WSB's grasp. What if we're missing something crucial about his arrangement with Z? We know Jason wants nothing more than to build a safe, peaceful life with Danny. He even told Sonny Corinthos that he is stepping away from the organization to protect his son. But what if Z is using that exact desire against him? The WSB is notorious for finding a person's absolute breaking point. It is entirely plausible that the WSB has manufactured a devastating piece of leverage over Jason. Perhaps they are threatening to expose Rocco Falconeri as the person who actually shot Ross Cullum. Jason went to a secret WSB location to protect, or perhaps they are threatening Danny's safety directly. Faced with the destruction of his family, Jason would have absolutely no choice but to comply. He would be forced to accept one final terrible mission: break Jen Sidwell out of police custody. Imagine how this scenario would actually unfold in the dead of night. I can see the scene playing out with chilling precision. Jason wouldn't go in with guns blazing like a typical mob enforcer. He would operate with the cold, calculated efficiency of a highly trained intelligence operative. He would likely use his extensive knowledge of the PCPD's protocols, perhaps quietly bribing a compromised guard or exploiting a known vulnerability in the security grid. He would move through the shadows of the precinct, bypassing the cameras, and slipping Sidwell out of his holding cell before anyone even realized the perimeter had been breached. By the time the morning shift arrived and Molly Lansing Davis walked in with her legal files, Sidwell would be long gone. It would look exactly like a classic violent prison break orchestrated by a rogue criminal. But if this happens, the immediate fallout will be nothing short of catastrophic for everyone involved. It doesn't seem accidental that Anna Devane has just been reinstated as the police chief, officially ousting Dante Falconeri. Anna is already on edge, struggling with her trauma and experiencing dangerous hallucinations of Peter August. She is desperate to maintain order and prove her authority. If a high-profile prisoner is broken out of her jail, she will unleash the full, unmitigated fury of the PCPD to hunt down the culprit. And when the evidence inevitably points to Jason Morgan, the betrayal will cut deep. Dante, who has been trying to mend fences and follow Anna's strict new rules, will be forced to lead the manhunt against a man who is practically family. The emotional devastation will ripple through the entire Corinthos family. Sonny Corinthos, who just graciously accepted Jason's departure from the mob because he knew Jason was protecting Rocco, will feel utterly blindsided. Sonny will assume Jason lied to him, that Jason took a secret payout from Sidwell, or that he has completely lost his mind. Carly Spencer will be shattered. She was just crying by Jocelyn's hospital bed, begging her daughter to leave the dangerous world of the WSB because she couldn't bear to lose another loved one after Morgan. Now, she will have to watch her best friend become public enemy number one, hunted by the police and despised by the town. And the most tragic part of this entire ordeal is that Jason won't be able to say a single word in his own defense. He will have to absorb the hatred, the suspicion, and the betrayal in absolute silence, knowing that if he reveals the WSB's involvement, the people he loves will be targeted. I can't shake the feeling that this is exactly what the WSB want. They are setting Jason up to take the fall. By forcing Jason to execute the breakout, the WSB effectively washes its hands of the entire operation. They will likely fabricate a brilliant cover story, completely erasing any digital or paper trail that connects the agency to Sidwell's disappearance. Jason will be left entirely on his own, carrying the crushing weight of a crime he was blackmailed into committing. Meanwhile, the WSB will quietly transport Sidwell to a classified black site far away from the prying eyes of Port Charles, where they can extract every single piece of intelligence he possesses regarding the Cold Fusion Project and Ross Cullum's international network. Sidwell becomes a permanent ghost, and Jason becomes the ultimate scapegoat. When you look at the board and see all these pieces moving, something feels unfinished. The neat, tidy narrative of Jen Sidwell going to trial and facing justice just feels too simple for a universe as complex as this one. The story is still breathing in the dark, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Jason Morgan returned to Port Charles hoping to find peace, hoping to finally be the father Danny deserves. But the shadows of his past and the manipulative reach of the WSB are always lurking just out of sight. If this theory holds true, the highly anticipated trial of Jen Sidwell will never see the light of day. Instead, we are about to witness one of the most heartbreaking, high-stakes betrayals in recent memory, orchestrated by an invisible hand that leaves Jason with no way out. The journey of discovering the truth is far from over, and I have a feeling we are only just beginning to see the true cost of Jason's freedom.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.